The name on my birth certificate reads William Thomas Rao, Jr. Those are the four names that were given to me by my mother and father. Though to know somebody, you could probably go with a backstory to all the names that they go by. Thomas. I am the youngest of 9 children, and my family's always called me by my middle name. Nobody refers to me in my first name, William. I'm the youngest of 9, and they've picked that name and stuck with it through the years. Little T, when I visit my grandparents in Georgia, they used to think I looked so much like my father, and they would just call me Little T for Little Thomas, or Little Tom, actually. Junior, when I would visit my grandparent in Alabama, my grandmother on my father's side, um, she would always call me by the name J.R. Junior. And, she'd wake me up out of bed every morning and say, get in there before the gravy gets cold on the biscuits. It's time to eat. It's time to get up and get the day started. In my professional career, Private Rao to Sergeant First Class Rao, every one of those titles would hold a story that I could easily refer back to, and shenanigans, jokes, hard days, easy days, good times and bad times. Coonskinner is one of the ones, have a favorite towards. I have a tendency to introduce myself as the Indiana Coonskin Champion. I skinned 131 coons in 4 hours, which starts up a conversation with people, and goes into my upbringing of a fur house and a bait store. We ran the bait store during the summer months and the fur house during the winter months. And to me, what was normal growing up is gathers a lot of curiosity in people. And so I told this story when I first showed up to Special Forces Group, and the guys kind of took it in stride that I had introduced myself to, and we went up to Indiana to do this training at AM General in northern Indiana. Well, I had the opportunity to show them the business and the house. They're in the same location. I went back, and when you walk up and see 50, 55-gallon drum barrels filled with coon carcasses and furs hanging all over inside the fur house, which is a giant barn that we dry and procure the animals, it really invokes some emotions in people, and kind of verifies, validates the person, because those stories are kind of hard to grasp for most people. But moving on from that, my 2 favorite names coming up is Dad and maybe Hun or Love. Dad, because I'm the father of 4 daughters and all the trials and tribulations that go along with fatherhood. I have a 10, a 5, and twin 2 years old, and it's always something new every single day. And I'm constantly learning this as I go as far as being a father. And then Love and Hun. Right now I'm 12 years married, and the names come and go, but my love and Hun is something that she calls me every day, and text messages, and we have our own stories behind that, from how we met to how we'll end our days on Earth. But when we all come to our time here to end on Earth, if we have people come visit our tombstones, they would know you by one way or another. So I'd be curious to see what would be written as a epithet on my tombstone. Would it say, "Here lies William Thomas Rao Jr., Coonskinner, Daddy, Hun, Private Sergeant First Class Rao, and the loving father of 4, and the Hun and love of 1"? What would yours say?